And that is what has been going on. The difference in the administration that we intend to bring in is that we are going to have a Marshall Plan. This Marshall Plan is going to address one by one. We have a program, for example, on issue to do with building houses. We have a program on building roads, road constructions. We have a program on employment. We have a program on supporting through SMEs, small-scale industries to come up. Individuals will be empowered for them to pursue whatever they want. We have specific things that are going to be addressed. On the environment, we believe that the companies that are operating in that region has the responsibility, first and foremost, to ensure that wherever they are operating, it is a place that the way they made it, so they must maintain it. Indeed, that is one of the things that is lacking in that region. Ability for responsible agencies to play the role assigned to them and for us to see the difference. We do intend to come up with a comprehensive plan, not just Niger Delta, whatever you call it. Tomorrow, Ministry of Niger Delta. Next tomorrow, you are having an. It is not working. It has failed. We do intend to have a comprehensive.
Thank you very much, Malam Nuhu Buhari. Thank you. Thank you, Malam Nuhu Buhari. General Muhammadu Buhari, how will you deal with the issue of militancy in the Niger Delta?
Well, we know how militancy started. Young people were armed, given ammunition, and sent against political opponents. Honestly, we know what happened. And after winning the elections, the militants were asked to return the weapon. They said no. If we examine the reason, it's very clear. If a young man, a teenager, is earning $50,000 a week, why should he go to school and spend 20 years and earn 100,000 naira a month? We said it before. In the CPC, we decided that the leadership, the traditional leadership, the operating company leadership, and the government at all the 3 tiers of government would have to come together and critically examine the issue of militancy in the Niger Delta and deal with it within the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
It sounds like what you're saying is you still don't have a solution. You're going to have to sit down and come up with a solution. Is that what you're saying?
No, we have a solution. The solution is we have to sit down with the Niger Delta militancy leadership. We have to sit down with their leadership, their traditional leadership. We have to sit down with the operating companies because they know the problem right from the word go. We have to rehabilitate those young men.
How is your program for the Niger Delta different from the 2 other candidates?
The issue of Niger Delta is not necessarily about the militants. You see, coming from a background as a trained guidance counselor, you need to go back to the root, get back to the community. There is something that tells them that there is total loss of confidence in governance. Before this young man, before you get these young men to start carrying weapons and harassing everybody, they must have had some inkling, some feeling that their leaders, their elders down there in their villages have the grudge that those governments at local, state, and federal government are not being fair to them. The sum total of the problem of Niger Delta is a problem of total loss of confidence, and the only part, the solution to do, of course, when you are dealing with the militants, you have to go back and address the issue of loss of confidence. How do you address this local problem that they are having? Nobody seems to be going back to that. It's not about getting these militants and asking them to bring the weapons, giving them money. We've done that. The amnesty is no longer working. They are going back to the root because we have not addressed the issue. It's not about 1-2 year issue, but the issue is go back to the root, sit down with them, discuss with them, and allocate appropriate funds at all levels to make sure that the problems are adequately addressed.
Now the thing is, you know, we keep hearing sit down with the militants, talk to them, but existing governments have sat down with the militants. I mean, we have an ongoing amnesty.
What I'm saying is not about the militants.
Program.
The government is sitting with the militants. It's not about just the militants. What are you doing about the old and the young and the people back home in the communities? It's not just about the militants. The militants are somehow speaking loud the minds of the teeming population back home. If you call just the leaders of the militants, this is just one of the byproducts of the grudge back home. What you need to do is to go back and sit with the communities, identify what the root causes are, what are the problems, what measures are you going to take at all levels of government and address the issue.
Now, Malam Nuribadu, you know that there's a PIB bill that is making its way through the legislative arm of government, a petroleum bill.
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the role of multinational oil companies in Nigeria? If you're not, what are the areas that concern you, and what would you like to see changed?
I am not satisfied. And indeed, the bill itself, there are so many areas that will require improvement and changes. It's a good thing because it is a progress in what we've been. The fundamental thing that we need in this industry is openness, transparency, accountability in the way we manage these resources. Today, NNPC is a closed place. No one knows what is going on there. It's a small clique of people who are in control of it. They are in conspiracy with the oil companies. The oil companies are at home and feeling safe. They do what they like, no questions asked. They are almost literally above the law. It has to change. They cause the problems that we found that is happening today in the Niger Delta and indeed the oil industry. I wanted to say, and I will say it again, that the problem, the insecurity, the lack of inability to get the maximum out of that industry, and indeed the Niger Delta, is simply because we've not been able to address those fundamental issues. Issue of economy and justice. Economy, ability for us to get maximum out of what we have. Use it properly in a way that people will see benefit. 2, if you want peace, you must go through the road of justice, fairness. The oil companies have been in conspiracy so far. They have not been on the side of Nigerians.
Are you not concerned that you're sitting talking about multinational companies who contribute a lot to the Nigerian economy, that you might actually scare people off investing in Nigeria?
Well, they should know that it is in their own best interest that when we should have peace there. For them to do business, for them to make maximum out of whatever is on the ground, they must work towards also ensuring that the people are okay and happy. We have seen it happen in Botswana. Botswana is a country with similar history with Nigeria, a country that depends on natural resources. But it is a country that made good use of their own resources, simply because from the onset, the companies that are exploiting the resources participated in the growth and development of the local community. This is what is needed. This is the area we should go. So far, we have failed. There is a total disconnection between the oil companies and those who are operating in the Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Malam Nuribadu. It's time for a short break. When we return, we spend a bit more time looking at the Nigerian economy. How does a government put money in people's pocket? How do we make it possible for Nigerians to earn an honest living? Join us after the break.